Welcome to The Lonely Reader, your ultimate destination for thrilling manhwa recaps. I'm your host, Mr. B, and I'm here to take you on an exciting journey through the captivating world of manhwas. So, if you're ready to embark on an unforgettable journey into the world of manhwas, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and get ready to immerse yourself in a world of captivating stories and stunning artwork.
Welcome to part 2 of this series. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, the link is below. Be sure to check it out first. We see our protagonist standing on a popular suicide spot as he thinks about how he and his niece were nearly killed during that incident because of this phone. As we see him, a few days prior, playing that same game, he couldn't understand what was written on the instructions, and he starts killing those ants. Then again, why did he start killing them? Lol. Somebody introduce him to Biru. On to the next panel, we see a gold coin tossing out of the screen and hitting his head, while a notification pops up on his screen. Number 1 was crushed to death, and as a reward, 1 gold coin, dark, is dropped. More like shot at him. Then another notification pops in, saying, "You are 1 step closer to becoming an evil, power-seeking god who rules by force." He looks at that coin with shock, thinking if a coin would have popped out of his phone screen a few years ago, he might have visited the mental hospital. But this is the era of hunters and monsters, as he gets excited about finally gaining abilities. After some time, we see him at the Hunter's Bureau or something like that, for an aptitude test exam result. As we see the lady at the counter congratulating him, saying the result shows that he gained abilities, making him excited while he enters his 7th grade syndrome, thinking if only he can get D rank, he will quit his job and become Superman and make his own freaking harem, and he gets a G class, fish. And here we go with another weak to strongest shit, as he asks the attendant if the results are correct, and she says yes, handing out the result to him. Look at this dude, his 7th grade syndrome just hit the wall known as reality, while he comments that there is no difference between a regular civilian and a G class. On the next panel, the lady sprinkles salt on his wounds by repeating, "Yes, you are class G," and asking if he would like to register for a license. Our protagonist asks how much it is, and she responds, 280,000. Our protagonist rejects her, thinking why would he wait this much money when he can't even enter any dungeon? Yeah, my bro knows it's a trap. On to the next panel, we see our protagonist looking at the clock, asking himself what he did for the past 5 hours, and thinks about taking a break to cool his head off. And he turns the TV on, and we see a news channel broadcasting about some famous hunter, and changes the channel, and we see a not-so-hot-looking girl who is also a strong hunter advertising something related to skincare or, I don't know, lol, who cares? And then he gets angry, saying everywhere he looks, there are successful hunters. Well, at least we can relate, lol. Everywhere I look, I see famous YouTubers, and yes, I am not crying, definitely not. Well, let's continue. In the next panel, we see him laying on his bed as he decides to sleep, and notifications start popping up on his phone, as he gets angry and shouts, saying, "What's with this stupid alarm? Why does it continue ringing without turning off?" And he picks his phone up. Then we see a notification saying number 2, and I believe you can read the rest of it. And here we go again, he starts killing the ants again. Seriously, somebody introduce him to Biru. Well, after a while, he falls asleep and wakes up and sees a few coins on the floor, thinking there were supposed to be a few hundred of them. Then he picks 1 coin up with 100 written on it. I bet none of you ever thought that he is getting gold coins by killing ants and is still working as a writer. Well, let's continue. Next, we see another notification saying, "Congratulations, unknown god who has met the requirements to open the god store," and a window pops up asking for permission to open the god store. As you, our author friends know, curiosity. Then, the scene changes, and we see a gathering of the Korean version of the Men in Black discussing how someone has finally opened a hunter store in Korea. 2 hunters walk in, one being the S-class creator-type hunter named Kang Woo, who has unlocked the hunter store, and the other being an S-class telepathic-type hunter. An important-looking person with a serious face is present, trying to hold back his fart. The pink-haired person introducing these S-class hunters asks Kang Woo to open the hunter store, and he gets ready with a pose that resembles a Kamehameha. It's quite a sight. Next, we see everyone doubting Kang Woo's abilities as nothing seems to happen. But then, the pink-haired person informs everyone that they will use Singmina's abilities to see the hunter's store. Finally, they can all witness it. The store offers a variety of items, including high-quality potions, holy swords, and even S+ rank abilities. People start commenting on how great the store is and how expensive the items must be. The old man, who was previously holding back his fart, emphasizes that the fate of Korea depends on keeping this a secret. I wonder if he is talking about his fart or the hunter's store. Lol. We then go back to our protagonist, who pays 100 gold coins to activate the god's store. He contemplates the vast difference between himself and Kang Woo, an S-class hunter. However, he hopes to make some money by reselling the items from the god's store. His excitement fades away as he looks at the prices of the items. His soul seems to leave his body momentarily as he recalls only getting 300 coins after playing all night. Perhaps he needs to reconsider his actions. As the screen scrolls down, it stops at a cheap skill available for only 100 gold coins. It's called Blind God's Eyes. Our protagonist purchases it and goes temporarily blind, stumbling upon something and regaining his eyesight. Now, he can read the words written inside the app and feels like he's some kind of protagonist from a novel. Damn, bro just purchased a cheap skill and is about to break the fourth wall. He starts scrolling through the store and stumbles upon another cheap-looking skill known as God's Crushing Fingers. Finally, we are about to witness history. After purchasing the skill, he transforms into the one and only, the One-Finger Man. But instead of using this incredible power for something epic, he uses it to turn his AC on and off. At best, he tries to write his novel, but fails. He's using a god-level authority to turn his air conditioner on and off. It's almost like we've found Luffy's long-lost fourth brother. Moving forward with the story, our protagonist receives a call from someone named the Almighty Director. He answers the call, and the person expresses their liking for his story about ants. The conversation continues until the person brings up a problem. Our protagonist eagerly asks what the problem is and promises to fix it immediately, and then the person asks the question that shakes him. When will you release the next chapter? Yeah, I am 100% sure this panel is not referring to the author. Well, now he has the perfect excuse to dive back into the game. And there he goes, relentlessly slaughtering those ants over and over until he finally accumulates 100 coins. Then those gold coins merge into a single gold coin with 100 written on it. Onward we go, as our protagonist trying to kill a red ninja ant and thinks why he can't kill it. Could it be the boss? Wondering this, he charges at him and fails again. Damn, this guy is a bigger failure than Steven. Lol. Continuing, we see him enraged as he decides to kill the rest of the ants except the red one. On the next panel we see him half asleep while he is still playing the game, and some notifications pops onto his screen saying the karma value of the unknown god has reached 800 and 200 mode karma points are required to obtain the title of the evil god. And he falls asleep. Then his unique authority Blind God's Eyes gets activated and a notification pops up again. The unknown god is chasing the unacquired sacrifice. Bro wakes up in a movie theater wondering what's going on. I need whatever the author smokes, lol. Well, anyways, let's continue. Going forward we see our protagonist confused as he asks if someone is there. Then a big screen opens up and we see someone walking through a desert, thinking, is the Black Tribe's god really this powerful? He tried to kill me by sacrificing his own followers. He seems more like a devil than God, blah blah blah. And he reaches a cave with some weird symbols written on it. I can't read it. If you wanna know, I recommend you asking some ant in your house. He enters the cave and there are many ants, eating their lunch, as everyone looks at him with silence, and he speaks. I have figured out where our food the Black Tribe went, but they were all annihilated by their god and I barely managed to escape. We must do something about him, blah blah blah. In response the whole room starts laughing at him. Yeah, I know that feeling. Going forward someone silences them. They all stands up and the ant with cape bows down to that figure calling him Great Shaman. We now see the face of that ant, named 808, as he claims that he also felt the presence of that evil god and they must do something about him, then proceed to heal 404, saying he will personally eliminate that evil spirit and cleanse this holy ground. Bro is like a holy knight of the ants, and a few more of the ants agree to help him in his quest. While our protagonist wakes up and thinks if he was dreaming about an ant or an ant was dreaming about him, notifications pops up again, saying 404 and 808 something. Your protagonist looks at his phone and sees the same ant again saying, "Huh? It's you again. Good, I will definitely kill you this time." Then the holy ant knight with the 4 more soldiers shouting, "Nature shall deny all evil," and attacks at our protagonist while his head tilts backwards and he gets a cut on his forehead. The panel then changes to the ant's perspective while he attacks our protagonist with his spell and all the ants start praising him, while shivers in fear and tell everyone to run away and kaboom. He gets disintegrate right away before finishing his sentence. Other ants looks up and see there are red beams falling from the sky and one of them shouts, "Here it comes again," and the perspective shifts to our protagonist as he keeps punching at his phone, breaking it in the process, then starts crying. Like seriously bro, think before you do something. Next we see a notification on his screen, that is in normal cases shouldn't have been possible to see. Well anyways, the notification says, "Congratulations, you have obtained the title of the evil god.